few videos ago, I was running the Easton-made 37D and I was taking the bigger splits and I was adding them to this pile over here for my own personal burning use. Now I've got a few logs left that I'm cleaning up here in the wood yard, and today I'm going to use the Japa 365 to add to the pile for future boiler wood. So here is the pile of logs I am hoping to get through this morning. I've got the biggest one up already loaded. These are just some odds and ends leftovers that I have, and they may not look like the biggest or the best logs for boiler wood because some of those are kind of smaller and could make some bundle wood. But I want to add as much as I can to the pile over here and get this thing kind of built up and then kind of like cap it off. And by capping it off, I mean put one of those paneling pieces on top of it so that it is ready for the winter. So there's a little mix. There's some ash and oak in this pile. And again, this is not the biggest of wood, but I'm thinking if I just can either just cut that in half or split it in half. When I split it in half, it'll make decent sized pieces that we can add over here. This is the pile. You can see, so I raised the conveyor up a little bit just for reference. I'm gonna see if I can fill in this front corner right here. I've got the speed of the conveyor turned up pretty much as high as it can go, so I'm hoping that some of the pieces will get launched back over in here and kind of fill this front corner in. And then, like I said, I want to get it it's at the point now, it's coming up on, the first week of September. I want to get as much wood on here as I can for, this will be for not this season, but next season. And then I want to take one of these paneling pieces that I have and I put that over top so it kind of keeps the snow off during the winter. And so I can't really make this pile, I can't just keep adding to this pile because if it gets too big, I won't be able to cover it like this one is. So that's the plan for today. We're going to be using the Japa and we are going to be adding to my pile of personal burning use. So this is not stuff that I'm going to sell. This is stuff that I am going to burn myself. And that'll be probably 2 years from now. All right, so that was some smooth cutting through that pile right there. I only had one log that I kicked out and didn't feel like hassling around trying to get through the Japa. Let me show you that one. This one right here, he's just got a little bend and crook in him, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like fighting trying to put that through. Because if I got it up there with the log lift, I would have had to roll it around, and that one I will just buck up manually and split without either the Wolf Ridge or the Easton Made, whatever. But anyway, I did want to point out a few things. I did have some runners down. I also raised up the log lift here. I put a little piece of a pallet underneath there, and that actually raised this up and the wheel on the log lift so that the logs were kind of coming down onto this infeed belt, which I think helped pull them in. Because before, that was kind of a little bit lower, so the logs were always kind of going uphill, and it made it a little difficult, but raising that thing up made a big difference, I think. The logs fed in a lot easier. The other thing, just to point out, I did still have my stop in here, my customized shortening stop here that I use for the mini firewood, but I do have enough space to be able to slide this back and still hit the 16-inch mark. So I was worried that I wouldn't have enough room to adjust that. I'd have to take those out, but works just fine leaving them in. So now I can switch between my 5-inch cuts and 16-inch cuts. And as we take a look at this pile, whoo, I don't know. Check that out. I might be, by the looks of that pile, I might be in danger of crossing out of the hobbyist category. Well, professional hobbyist. I guess that is probably a professional hobbyist pile right there. But that is looking good. It filled in this front and it didn't spill too much out. Just a couple pieces right here. This big chunk, oh my gosh. There's a couple logs of ash, and man, that stuff just splits. I just do not like splitting that ash. It gets stringy and knotty. You can see there. Yeah, that big chunk. That will be perfect boiler wood. And if we take a look on the back side, nothing spilt out back here. So we're looking good. Those pallets, that's what I use to kind of rest this sheet of plywood against. So that should work out well to put these in here now and cap this pile off. I think this is, I can maybe get a little bit more up here. We'll see. But yeah, that is looking good. It's a nice looking pile of firewood right there. So whether I'm splitting mini firewood or, in this case today, boiler wood, or wood that will be used in my boiler, it's not necessarily the big ugly chunk stuff, but the Japa 365 made very quick and easy work of it. They just come in, cut, split, send them out. And I did have the 4-way kind of raised as high as it would go so that anything that was, you know, a little smaller in diameter only got split in half. The bigger stuff did get split into fourths, and those bottom 2 pieces end up being nice size, and they'll be good for feeding into the boiler. Not too small, but split, and that is the main thing. Because yes, even though I am using this firewood in an outdoor wood boiler, my preference is to split the wood because split wood seasons and round wood rots. So with that, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.